Why Did These Great People Bend? A book by Gail Carter, pen name Indiana Carter. This book is available online presently with limited editions available. Why did these great people bend? It seemed to be a bad dream. It was the year 16 and 19. A dream about a people distinct and diverse, yet all call Africans, or the curse. Their tongues were as varied as their names, and they called out their tribes, and they proudly proclaimed, Yoruba, Wolof, and Igbo, Mande, Bakan, and Bakongo, brought from the land of the very first man to the Virginia colony, picking tobacco, making others lots of money, forced to fill old croaker sacks. These great people bent their backs. Why did these great people bend? 1793, a gin for cotton was created by Whitney. Second wave of great people bent. Filling sacks with cotton was their stint. Copper, brass, bronze, gold shimmered in the sun until they glowed. Amber, topaz, opal, and jet, skins of these great people glistened with sweat. Some chanced running away. Others waited day by day. Across the belt, they worked and toiled until surrender was this lost cause finally foiled. Why did these great people bend? 1865, all were so happy just to be alive. This hard-fought day of Jubilee had finally arrived and came to be. Led by the North's most favored son, the Civil War was unconditionally won. Skies filled with shouts, shots, and cheers. Then the music quieted and the confetti was cleared. The children of these great people returned to picking cotton. For prophets, their masters, had greedily not forgotten. Seeing bent, black backs re-engage was not just peculiar, it was an outrage. But this time, the people were free. Free to live in the same slave shack. Free to work, but still have lack. Not enough food, clothes, necessities. Not enough honor, humility, or equalities. Free to exchange master for boss. Free to work for pay at a steady loss. Same work, same condition. Debt was reality, not manumission. Freedom was just a delusional brag. Still bent over, still filling bags. Why did these great people bend? Hearing Jim Crow end a new century, the children of the great people began to flee deep into the dark southern midnight. Now aboard iron horses, they search for new light. To Detroit, Chicago, Cincinnati, they sped. To Philadelphia, Boston, Harlem, they fled. Lands of opportunity they sought. Lands of segregation they got. Opportunity for another's house to clean. Opportunity for crafts and unions to demean. Opportunity to live in another inadequate quarter. The children once again bent over. Bent over someone else's stove, cooking someone else's meal. Bent over someone else's shovel, enduring someone else's cold winter northern chill. Bent over a drink, bent over a drug, trying to find joy, trying to forget pain. For northern segregation was a cruel, sly, covert, unyielding chain. Why did these great people bend? The 60s, a decade of death. Martyrs drew their final breath. 63, 65, 68. Medgar, Malcolm, and yes, Martin met their final fate. The children took to the streets. The children stood up strong, but that only lasted but so long. Billy clubs, hoses, shepherds, gash flesh open, children bit, children curled, children covered, children all the while coping, praying that their suffering would appeal to some higher conscience, to some greater ideal. Despite securing the civil rights as law, some hearts still would not fall. Why did these great people bend? With a new disease of massive destruction. The 80s was a decade of unparalleled corruption. AIDS, teen pregnancy, school dropouts, unemployment, crack, gangs, police brutality, shooting for enjoyment. Public schools enrollees decreased. Private jails, parolees increased. Jobs declined. Population climbed. The Klan with shepherds marching past the corner store were replaced with gangs, with pits posted up for a corner score. For drugs was a new form of slavery used. It caught hold of anyone who abused. Those who baked it, caked it, sold it were not exempt, yet those who used it were unmercifully picked. Young poets like Pac and Biggie cried out in rhyme, yet all too many of them left us before their time. In the past, the hate came from them, but in the 80s, the hate grew from within. Yes, these great people bent, but not just due to dope. These great people bent because they had run out of hope. Why did these great people bend? Upon the founding, Franklin declared a rising sun. In 2008, rose a Western one. Obama and Biden were the Democrats' voice, with hopes of becoming America's choice. The children were bent over still, this time of their own will. They bent over tables to register and write checks. They bent over machines to vote and elect. They bent over yards to post signs. They bent over for reasons of different kinds. The children of these great people bent over in toil to later stand in the victory royal. The results of the race plainly stated. It was president that Obama was delegated. Sable beauty on his arm, this Nubian night redefined charm. Why did these great people bend? 2013 is the year we're in. Why do the children of the great people still bend? Why are they filling sacks again? Why do they fill them with a grin? They are not filling these sacks alone. They are joined by people of every tone, people of each and every age, people of every earning wage. Some have abundant learning and education. Others sport more of that, street information. There's no hint of any diffusion, even though they hail from every state in the Union. Maryland, Virginia, out west in Nebraska, Indiana, Ohio, even Russia's neighbor, Palin's Alaska. They hail from the proud Republic of Haiti to the great South African nation. They come to fill sacks for this 57th inaugural celebration, bearing news that Barack Hussein Obama will, for 4 more years, lead. They gladly bend to see him succeed. And at the parade, they march and they drum, just like their beautiful African ancestors before them had done. Why did these great people bend? These great people bent through slavery and the cotton gin. Their children bent through sharecropping and cold northern wind. They bent through both southern and northern segregation, bent through lynching, drug wars, and racial discrimination. But today, the children of the great people bend no longer. For with others, they stand united to defend a future that will be forever stronger. And that is why these great people bend. The motivation for this poem occurred when I was blessed to be a volunteer for the 57th inauguration. We were asked to fill souvenir sacks with various items. We informally grouped and regrouped ourselves to our liking, and in conversations bent over and filled the sacks. As we did this, it occurred to me that others have had to bend over and fill sacks. Others who were not fortunate enough to be in air conditioning. Others who were not fortunate enough to be in an exquisite convention center and convention center room. Those others, of course, were our ancestors, forced to fill sacks under cruel conditions, under a hot sun. It was then that I realized just how far we have really come. Once again, Why Did the Great People Bend? By Gail Carter, Gail Gillis Carter, pen name Indiana Carter. And the book, Why Did the Great People Bend, is available online, limited editions online. It is my hope that this story will be read at bedtime to children from now on. It is my hope that this story will be recited at church and other programs, community programs, from now on. And it is my hope that this story will be retold at Grandma and Grandpa's knee from now on. Thank you.